Welcome to part 2 of why Kikuyu women have a weakness for Luhya men. Okay? Now, the supervisor, whose name was Bruce, came through the gates, jingling his office keys. That's where we left off. And of course, Jerry panicked because the smile on his face was that of a lion, which had already cornered a gazelle. Yeah, she didn't like it. But her options were limited. Well, the guy came up to her and sympathized. He always talked so politely. And he really reassured Njeri that he'd get a taxi for her all the way to Moja, that she should not be worried. The supervisor, whose name was Bruce, reassured her and did his best to calm her down. As they walked slowly, he suggested they go to a nearby hotel where the taxis were very cheap and therefore would be able to easily afford the taxi fare all the way up to her home, or rather to the place where she stayed with her auntie in Umoja. They reached the hotel and went straight to the taxi place. Bruce talked briefly to one of the taxi drivers, although Njeri had no idea what they were talking about. She couldn't hear what they were saying. And then he came back and told her that the driver he was looking for was a very good friend of his, had gone to drop off another client, and of course he would soon be back. So all they had to do was that they wait for him for a few minutes. Then he just very casually suggested that they wait inside the hotel. Now, Njeri had come from the village just the other day, and actually the truth is she was a bit slow in sensing a man's trap. She swallowed the bait and followed Bruce inside the hotel very innocently. She did not even find anything strange in the fact that they passed the reception, where there were several comfortable seats to sit and wait, and they went straight into the bar. It was still early, and it was almost deserted, the bar. Bruce started off ordering some chips and soda, which of course she thoroughly enjoyed. You have to give it to this guy, he was very smooth, and Jerry did not stand a chance with such a smooth operator. She only realized what was going on when she was already in one of the rooms in the hotel. But even then, the guy kept his cool and he kept on playing his game. With the key to the room safely in his pocket, he told her that he was having a quick shower and then they would be on their way to get the taxi for her. This time, she started having doubts. She told him that she was going to scream if he tried anything. But Bruce had played this game for a very long time, so he casually walked into the shower, of course ensuring that the room key was very close. And when he finished having the shower, he came out with only the towel on his waist. By this time, Jerry was cowering away at the door, and she had already decided that there was no way out of this one but to scream at the top of her voice. Bruce was still very cool. Yeah, he casually walked up to where she was, and before she could scream, grabbed her and started kissing her. The man was strong, and with his hands firmly in his grasp, rather with her hands, small tiny hands, firmly in his big strong hands grasp, she could do nothing. And of course you cannot scream when you're being kissed. It's impossible. But as Njeri admitted coyly later, or rather shyly later, there was no denying the fact that it was strangely exciting being overpowered by this big strong man. Actually, the man was big everywhere, and what followed was an experience that Jerry had been looking for all her life. There was no village boy here, yeah? No village boy looking for a selfish quickie. But she knew what was happening, and she was thoroughly enjoying what was going on. It was a case of lust at first sex. This was around 5:45, 6. They did not leave that hotel room until 9 p.m. in the night. Jerry was not that terrified of her auntie anymore. Something had changed in her forever. She had found exactly what she was looking for in the most unlikely place. Bruce, of course, got a taxi for her, and she went to face the wrath of her auntie, who started off complaining and shouting, but then finally admitted that actually there was a matatu strike. And she knew what could go on in Nairobi when there was a matatu strike. Total chaos. And she finally admitted it was even good and lucky that Njeri had gotten home, because many others had not yet gotten home even at that time. As you're listening to this, Bruce and Njeri have been married for almost 25 years. In fact, rather almost 30 years. They have 2 children, and the son, guess what, has inherited the pancake nose. But these days, Njeri finds it rather cute. Now I'll give you some homework to go and do. Find out from all those nice Kikuyu girls married to Luhyas how it happened. You will find that they fell in lust before they fell in love. Yeah, that is the truth. There's no denying that Luhya men know how to treat women, in bed of course, and they cannot be resisted. Even if they have pancake noses, once a poor Kikuyu girl has ended up in their bed, it's all over. Thank you. This is Chris Kumekucha. Till next time.